This is my Facebook Marketplace mechanic special BMW X5, and supposedly this has one of the best diesel engines BMW ever made, the M57. But I couldn't tell you that from personal experience, that's for sure. I bought my X5 off Facebook Marketplace as a dare to myself to type in mechanic special and an unreliable brand and buy the first car that popped up. After negotiating with the nicest used car salesman ever named Eddie, I paid $4,000 and drove off in my X5 that had a massive coolant leak, no boost at all, bad suspension noises, and much more. It was awesome. Trying to figure out the mess of vacuum lines wasn't awesome, but I was able to fix the coolant leak with a new radiator, and after lots of testing and replacing of boost-related parts, I was able to get one of the two turbos to work, but only after 3,500 RPM, and boy did it rip. Unfortunately, after a few good pulls, this tube blew off, the clamp disappeared into the oblivion, and I think we have a restriction which is gonna require me to take out this intake. And that I'm not looking forward to at all. Let me show you why. Goodbye, air filter box. It's not necessarily because it looks hard to take off, it's just how many while we're in there are we going to find? There's nothing but goo under this intake. And there's a possibility it's completely clogged. So let's get gooey and rip this thing off. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go, people, here we go. This is gonna be the last remaining easy part of this job, which is this tube right here, which actually probably don't even need to take off right now, but I'm going to. Okay, is this job done yet? And I'm half kidding here. I'm actually really excited to see how bad this is. I mean, we're gonna take this EGR apart. It's gonna be so nasty and so satisfying. I've heard these intakes can clog up so bad that it's just worth it to replace them. They are like $600-700 though, so if it's that bad, I'll figure out some way to clean it. It's gonna be awesome. But we're gonna fix you. If I could get this off. I know I'm using a flat blade on this. I could use a socket, but this is what I had next to me. All right, that clamp is off to the side. I'm gonna pop this off, give us a little bit more room. Lots of connectors. I don't know how, but I'm already disgusting. Big downside on working on some older diesels is you get really dirty. Really dirty. I've taken multiple showers, jumped in the lake. It doesn't matter, really. You can't get this diesel stuff off. It's horrible. I think I've disconnected everything I can see at least, so now we just have a bunch of 10s, like a lot of 10s. Is that it? Okay, looks like we got one more right here. And let's see, is this loose now? Nope, not loose at all. All right, must be missing something. I figured out why it's not coming. There's lots of more bolts. Totally didn't see those, okay. Whoops. It's funny, these are 11s, these are 10s. It's like, just stick with one. Why are you gonna make me change sockets? BMW. Penlight magnet for the win, yeah. Oh yeah, love this thing. Great light, great magnet. LegitStreetCars.com. Okay, at this point, I had to have gotten everything. Oh my gosh, it won't even budge. What is holding this on? Oh, there it is. Okay, we got something going on. Seriously, this is crazy. I mean, I already took out I think like 15 bolts. There can't be anything else that holds this, right? We're getting some shimmies. We're getting some shams. We're getting shams too. Should come out. Oh yeah, there's some carbon in there. Little carbon. Oh, this is gross. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. All right, hang on, something's still attached to it. Okay, I got the last electrical connector. This is coming out. Oh, wait till you see this. So here is the bottom of the intake. And I mean, just goo, lots of goo just leaking out. Here are the swirl flaps. They seem intact. Here is the rail they ride on. Are they all working? Okay, yeah, seem to be working. They seem to be working. Look at them flapping away. But anyway, look at this. Look at this goo. Look at this mess in here. Look at this plastic coolant tube that wants to leak that we're gonna replace while we're in here for sure. And here is more vacuum line madness. So this is a distribution block, and of course they put that under the intake. So if you have any issues at all and you need to get to this distribution block, you're screwed. You gotta take the intake out, and then it snakes around in here as well. And look at all this. It's just goo, guys. No one really knows exactly what it is. It's just goo. All right, let's take a look at these intake valves. Diesels are all direct injected and they can get kind of nasty, especially when you still have EGR. I gotta say, this doesn't look that bad though. I've definitely seen worse direct injected gasoline engines. Huh, I mean, it's dirty, but I don't think that's our actual issue. We're gonna do some surgery here, and I printed out some little plugs so we don't get anything in our nasty little intake tracks. That was just a file I found online, pretty sweet. And the coolant is drained. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking some of this apart. I'm gonna be replacing all plastic cooling things under here, and that'll give me a good look at all the vacuum line mess so we can start to maybe diagnose why we don't have boost below 3,500 RPM. Slide this thing off. There we go. We're gonna definitely lose some more coolant. Excellent. Love losing coolant all over the shop floor. If you guys haven't done that, I highly recommend it. It's pretty great, especially right after you cleaned everything. All right, so now we can get this connector off. Yeah. Go ahead. You done? Next, we have 3 super gross 10s. I'll grab these before we lose them. Nasty. Okay. This is coming off. This is not the thermostat, by the way. But yeah, BMW decided to make all this stuff out of plastic and it can fail. So we're gonna replace this with this. Telling you everything I touch turns black, but we have a lot more to do before this shiny thing goes in that. Let's get this engine fan out of the way. That'll just open up so many more avenues of success or something. I don't know. All I know is that it doesn't have any bolts holding it in, and it's really easy to get out of the way. Now we got more room. I'm gonna replace this plastic tube as well, and it goes behind the EGR cooler, so I think we gotta take that out now. A couple 13s. I got a big T45 out. I'm hoping there's only one, and should come out, please. Seems very loose to me. We're actually trying to take it out of the exhaust right now. Okay, well, it's kind of being stuck. Honestly, I don't really care. All I need to do is get this tube out. So we have one more 10 holding this guy in. So that's loose, and we should be able to pull this out now. Yeah, we got it. We got it. Excellent. All right. Unfortunately, they don't make an aluminum version, so I'm going back together with literally the same thing, just new. So yeah, let's hope the aftermarket one at least lasts as long as the original. Are you kidding me? The LSC shop wipes, they are seriously the best. This diesel stuff is like impossible to get off. Look at this. Yeah, it's that good. Love these things. Oh, hello, black goo. Goodbye. You know what, I am gonna remove this for now. It was really difficult to get to one of the bolts. They're like different heads and stuff, it's weird. I got one of them. Yes. All right, so EGR cooler, it's going bye-bye for now. None of this worked anyway, by the way. All the EGR stuff has been deleted. Everything was cut in the back, like the solenoids, the lines, everything. It's literally just got a cooler here waiting to fail. I'm really thinking this is a good time to reseal that oil cooler. And honestly, I can't work like this anymore. We need to clean this area up. It's so bad. I'm gonna soak it with some release. I'm gonna use my drill brush, go around, kind of agitate everything. Hey, it's the starter, that thing over there. You know what, I was gonna get the pressure washer over here, but it is gonna ruin my shop. We're gonna use brake clean mostly for the pressure of it, and it's a great cleaner too. Ooh, yes. Let's see, can we see the starter? Oh, this is great. Oh my gosh, stuff is getting clean. Look at that, it's a thing of beauty. I also buy brake clean in bulk. It's just the pressure's not there. So I'm kind of going back and forth between these guys. You pump this up, but it's just never that good. Here we go, people, here we go. I know it's still not the cleanest, but this is as good as it gets without getting the pressure washer over here, which again, like I just cleaned the floors, everything's looking good. Can't have it, I can't destroy it yet. We're gonna have to clean out this intake and get rid of the swirl flaps. So let's remove our throttle blade, our EGR, this whole contraption. Actually, it makes more sense to pull this off first. What do we got? Yeah, okay, she's definitely gooey. Oh, this thing doesn't even want to be there. It's like, get me out. Yeah, that is nastiness, guys, nasty. Oh, I got a receipt underneath here just to catch it. Oh, are you kidding me? Look at how thick that is. Dude, oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Oh, what did I find in here? It's like I'm mining. It's like Minecraft for goo. Oh, nasty. Oh, it's a receipt for something for my Cadillac. Sorry, Cadillac. So here's the inside of our EGR valve. I should be able to push this open. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I mean, the valve's still working. It seems kind of weak, but it's probably okay. Yeah, this valve is nasty. I would venture to say it definitely could have some sealing issues there. I think the level of carbon that's in this intake is a serious problem. I'm just so curious as to what this weighs. 5,290 milliliters. Okay, great. Unit, grams, kilograms. Let's go pounds. Sorry, people from other places. So this is 11 pounds. How about this? 5.28 kilograms. And I think the reason it weighs so much is because of this alien planet inside. This thing is caked. It is bad. It's a little difficult to get into some of these runners. With the camera, it gets smudged and it's just so clogged. So I have to figure out a way to clean this, but first we're gonna get rid of the swirl flaps. This was all deleted anyway, so these things are just sitting here waiting to break and clog, and that could have been a part of the problem as well. They could have been pushed shut, who knows? They gotta go. Hang on a moment for today's video sponsor, Prize Picks. It is football season, and if you guys are into fantasy sports, Prize Picks is so much fun. You're gonna love this. It's so easy. All you do is pick more or less on at least 2 player stat projections. Lock in your picks and you're ready to go. You can win some cash if you are right. Oh, and check this out. They now have a feature on the app called Stacks where you can pick up to 3 stat projections on the same player. Finalize your lineup and you're ready to go. Oh, and check this out. Another new feature. If you click feed, you can follow other Prize Picks players and copy their lineup. Look at this. Bam, there's even celebrities on here. You can just copy whatever they're doing. Or maybe you just have a friend that's better at picking than you are. Just copy what they're doing. Now the Prize Picks app is totally free and you guys can download it by clicking on my link down below. And when you do, use coupon code LegitStreetCars. That's gonna get you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. So download the link down below, use code LegitStreetCars and Prize Picks. It's good to be right. And let's hope that I'm right on the diagnosis of the diesel. If you guys have been around for a while, you've seen me delete swirl flaps before on my CDI. And basically we're just gonna plug these up. So a bunch of T20s to remove each flap. And we're actually gonna leave the motor, but I need to remove it to get that flap out. All right, it just slides off. There's nothing to it. Just to get this little T20 in here. They're all connected on one rail, so it's a collective of swirl flaps. It's basically the Borg. And like the Borg is bad, you know? So, and this is all black and gooey, and that has nothing to do with the Borg. I don't know why I just said that, but I'm sure the Borg wanted to open up like a black hole at some point in one episode of Star Trek. That's what this is. Black hole of goo. Resistance is futile, swirl flaps. Resistance is futile, it's just so mean. You know, like that's so tough. Don't even try, dude. I don't say futile though, I say futile. Resistance is futile, that's weak. Borg had it right. Okay, let's see. We got all those out. We could probably have popped this rail off a while ago. Get out of here, rail. Okay, so now we just take a flat blade screwdriver and we pry these guys out. They're kind of stuck in there. And there is a seal here, and I think that is another issue. There's lots of issues here, but as you can see, there's goo at the bottom. I think all of these are leaking, and that would leak boost as well. So yeah, this whole system here, not good, not good. But this will give us a lot more room now to clean, and we have to get rid of these anyway. So yay, cleaning. Let's pull out all of these O-rings. These things are shot, super deformed. Can't even get it out. There we go. Our intake is in a tote. So we're gonna use this stuff. Super heavy duty degreaser. There's degreeaser, heavy duty degreaser, and super heavy duty degreaser. Someone should invent super duper heavy duty degreaser. But here we go. We're just gonna pour this stuff straight up in here. Wow, this is very bright, I must say. Get in there. All right, we're running full concentrate. This is supposed to, oh my God, 200 gallons. That's a lot. All right, I think this might be radioactive. This makes 200 gallons out of 1 gallon. That's insane. This looks like the ooze that turned the Ninja Turtles into the Ninja Turtles. Since that 1 gallon makes 200 gallons, we're gonna put a little hot water in here. I just want this thing to be completely covered in water and, you know, cleaner. So this is still insanely concentrated according to what they say. But now we're kind of using all of it. It's gonna live in here for I don't know how long, guys. Good thing we got other stuff to do. You guys wanna see something funny? EGR was deleted. Yep. It was blocked off. I had to like move this thing out of the way. It was really weird to get to the bolts. So they just had this kind of dangling in there for no reason. Thank you, previous owner. After taking a really good look inside of this mess, I don't really see a smoking gun yet. Lots of like mini smoking guns that could add up to us fixing this issue, but we have no boost below 3,500 RPM. And actually in the last video, one of you guys had mentioned a pressure bypass valve could be the issue. And I checked this in the last video. I checked the vacuum line going to it. I replaced it. And I also checked this this with a Mighty Vac. It held pressure, everything seemed okay. I feel like I should just get my eyes on it, and I wanted to replace this anyway, which is right in front of it, so let's just do it. Clean this area up as well, and just got the bolts out. This is nice and easy. Seal looks good. I'm sure the thermostat's fine, but let's just replace it anyway. And now we can easily get to this bypass valve in here. It's connected to our orange tube that we replaced in the last video. There's a few T40s in here. It's kind of hard to see, but we're gonna get rid of those T40s and then take a look. I already loosened up this actuator too. That's the last one. It's gonna come off now. Okay, I'm taking off this turbo inlet. This is a plastic piece that got pretty gramified. So there's some O-rings here for the PCV that are probably leaking. So I wanna take care of that. And now for the first time, we can actually see the compressor wheel of one of the turbos. And let's see, it spins good. No shaft play or anything. All right, that's a good sign. All right, we're really going to town here and just taking all sorts of stuff apart. These O-rings look good. Definitely turning into one of those while you're in there. So we got it apart. Let's just keep digging, because if we don't have boost after doing all that work, I want to at least eliminate all this stuff in the front. This pipe coming off now too. Yeah. Good seals, lots of oil. And now we can see the other turbo. And yeah, it spins great. No shaft play, nothing. All right, that makes me feel good. At least we've kind of knocked out the turbo being the no boost issue, you know, that's nice. So it's very rare for one of these factory turbos to go bad. I mean, they can last like literally forever, but now we know. Finally got this thing loose. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's off. Needed to loosen up the AC compressor to get to one last bolt. But here it is, our boost bypass. So this is what makes a changeover from the small turbo to the big turbo. So if this was bad or if something was bad on here, it could cause our issue where we don't have any boost, you know, below 3,500 RPM when the big one kicks on. We know this actuator is good. I vacuum tested it. It's one of the first things we did. And here's the flap that would open and close. And so it's sealing right there. And man, right off the bat, like this looks fine. Like everything seems tight. Man, look at this O-ring though. Look at this O-ring. Dude, that is completely flat. That is like the flattest O-ring I've ever seen. Are you kidding me? That could be the issue, and that could be why everything is so grimy in here. So it's normal after a couple 100,000 miles to have, you know, oil build up like this on a diesel, but normally it kind of is self-contained and it goes into your intake, as you guys saw with my intake. But with this seal, it could just be all leaking out. We gotta try and get this out. This is crazy. All right, let's see what is left of this thing. Oh yeah, she is flat as a pancake. Wow. Wow. I ordered up a new seal, so let's make this thing nice and shiny and new again. There's so much cleaning going on here, guys. I'm spending hours on cleaning, so we gotta soak this up. Get in there. So what I've been doing is the AMSOIL heavy duty degreaser. We let that soak and then we brake clean it off. That seems to be working really well. This gets in there and then the brake clean finishes it. Okay, I ended up needing to use the drill brush on this one as well, but we got it pretty darn clean. Look at how shiny that valve is. So this is done. This I'm gonna soak for a while. So what I wanna do next is replace the seals for the oil cooler, and I did buy an entire new vacuum tube where everything branches off from. So it goes from here all the way to the vacuum pump here. And yeah, just in case there's any little micro cracks that we can't see right now, we're gonna replace it. All right, there's a few T30s that go all around the oil cooler. I got a couple from the bottom using our little swivel and quarter drive. They're not held in by very much torque. So once you break them free, you can get them out with your fingers. There we go. There's one. Okay, it doesn't look possible to get to all the bolts for the oil cooler, so I'm gonna have to remove the entire housing as one, which means I have to move the alternator out of the way because that's blocking bolts. So much is getting taken apart, guys. I can't wait to be going back together, hopefully soon. But anywho, we have to loosen up the belt tension, and we can slide it off of a pulley. Just need it all to the alternators. Just leave it in there, belt's in good shape. Let's get this pulley out of the way as well. Okay, I think that will show some more bolts. Or no, that is a bolt. That is a bolt. Haha, that's an alternator bolt, this whole thing. Hopefully this is the last one. And obviously the battery is disconnected. We have all the electrical connections off of the alternator. Okay, I moved. Oh yeah, it's definitely loose. Got a little pry bar action in there. All right, got this loosened up. Now we can get it out. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, that gives us a lot more room to get in here and more stuff to clean. All right, with the alternator out of the way, we can get to a bolt. We got the last bolt out. This thing is loose. Let's see, we got some harnesses attached to it. We gotta disconnect. Okay, now it should come out. Oh, we got an oil pressure switch at the bottom. Okay. All right, there we go. We got it out. Ah, it's getting oil all over the ground. Okay, so we're gonna be replacing this seal here, which also looks pretty flat and probably leaking everywhere. And the seal for the actual cooler into the housing. And I did drain all the engine oil, but when you pull a cooler off, this is inevitable, and nice black dirty diesel oil. More cleaning. And I'm wearing gloves, but doesn't really matter much. You just get destroyed working on these things. I'll start the process. Okay, I've drained all the oil out of this. And we have one more T30 for the oil cooler. I'd taken the other ones out in the car thinking I could just separate this, but it's a good thing I couldn't because you want to do this seal too. A couple of love taps. There we go. All right, more nastiness. Oh man. Yeah, look at this seal. Totally flat. Wow. Glad we're doing this. All right, more degreaser. You know what? I should probably take this oil filter cap off too. It's just so gross working on all this stuff. While that is degreasing, we'll remove our seals. Okay. So this side seals off from oil. This is coolant. Very hard seal. And then somewhere behind all this black goo is the other seal, or the cooler. Let me see where it starts. Get out. Yeah, this is like turned into plastic. Oh, so crunchy. Goodbye. Look how well this degreaser works though. It's awesome. Look at that. I'm really only using the brake clean for the pressure. It's all you need. This is amazing. It is melting this stuff off. This thing's been huge for breaking this up. Look at that. So nice. Okay, got our oil filter out. More goo. Okay, I'm in here with one of my other drill brush attachments. Trying to get in every little nook and cranny. It's just so gross in here. Yeah. Well, it's not perfect, but I have cleaned up the important stuff like the mating surface for our oil cooler and a lot of the block and everything around it. I mean, you can go as crazy as you want. We could get the pressure washer over here, but I really don't want to ruin the shop. Now that a lot of that stuff is kind of broken up though, as soon as this thing heats up to operating temperature, some of it will crumble off and at least we know all the leaks are fixed, so it'll be dry. Before the oil cooler goes back on, I'm gonna replace this line here because it'll just be that much easier. And we get to replace this clamp with a traditional one. Okay, I can take this off. And I got it from the other end. And a lot of this vacuum tubing is just crimped on, so lots of points of failure. We have that one out, this one waiting to go in, kind of going down the rabbit hole here, but this is our vacuum pump. It has a seal. I cleaned it up, but it looked like it was leaking. I think it's just 213s. Lots of Loctite on these bolts. I should be able to shimmy sham this out. It's moving a little. We'll give it a little gentle persuasion with the pry bar. It's coming loose. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. Now, this is splined to the camshaft, so it rotates like that. We'll just put it back exactly the way we found it. And here's our O-ring, and yeah, it's pretty much flush. It's flat. That's why it's leaking. So here is the inside. You can see where it splines into that cam gear, and you can see where it was leaking out as well. So another good while you're in there, we'll clean this up. I'm just cleaning this up as well. There, we get a better look. Yeah, look at that. No protrusion. Since we've gone this far, I want to see if there's any O-rings we should replace here too. Okay, with the screw out, we can remove this. And yeah, there is an O-ring, so we could get a new one of those. This pump has a front cover as well. I'm gonna remove the screws and see if we can get the O-ring. We're leaking oil. Okay. Great. Something just flew out of here. That's not good. All right, well, here's the inside. This was the piece that fell on the floor. Okay, let me put this down. This is all kind of falling apart now. This has got to go back in like that. So this is what spins on the inside, and this is essentially its cylinder to create vacuum. It's kind of like a little rotary engine. So these fit tightly against the cylinder and create the seal when it spins. There's a little hole right here, and that would come out here. And so every time it passes, it's creating vacuum, it's sucking. That's a vacuum pump. Hello. All right, so we'll clean this up a bit and we can see the seal on the inside right here. Now, this doesn't really rest flat on the table, but I found a piece of silicone, so we can do one of these. Okay, so everything just stays. All right, we'll clean out the cover as well. Okay, a little weird. This doesn't feel like anything, but it kind of looks like little wear marks in there. I don't suspect any vacuum pump issues though, because this goes directly to the brake booster. The brakes felt fine. Everything else seemed to function okay. So we'll just give this a nice clean, new seals, and we've rebuilt our vacuum pump, which is like $700 a new. So I'd much rather do this. Okay, found a kit online with our seals. Look at that, in a nice bag. This whole kit was like $15 for 3 seals. Get out of here. I almost lost one. Okay, so one of them is square cut and the other 2 are traditional. So we'll start off with our square cut seal. And a lot of these can look like they're pretty much just flat, but they have to recess out a little bit. So there's that. And we'll hit this up with a little brake clean as well. Now we're gonna use some transmission fluid that has spilled out of this bottle. That's my Cobra transmission fluid that I was trying to save. And we'll lubricate this seal and plop it right in. Nice looking green seal. Don't give me no trouble, seal. Come on. Oh my Okay, great. Okay, I think I got it in there. Yep. I want to keep things nice and clean in here. You think you've cleaned off all the diesel engine oil, but you haven't. Always some. All right, so that's together. And I'm gonna put a little bit of this trans fluid on the side, kind of pre-lubricate it. This cover's kind of nasty. I'll give it a clean. All right, to give this a little bit of a cleaning, you can go crazy with this stuff, but now this only goes back together one way, and you can tell this is oblong. And yeah, lines up like that, and we'll get our little screws back in. Bolts are all tight. Now we can do this little O-ring here, she down, and we'll get our new one on. There we go. That is much better. You can actually see it sticking out. Slide that right back in. I'll give that a little tighten. And here's the seal that was leaking. It just broke in half. Super brittle. Before this guy goes on, we'll give it some MB sunroof grease. That by itself will most likely fix 98% of the issues with this BMW. Just like that. There's no way that is gonna leak now. Okay, now we can go back together with our pump. You kind of want to take a look or a feel in here if you've moved this rotor. Just make sure it lines up. There we go. A little tighten. All right, she's done. It's been about 3 hours. Hey, look at this, it's just black. Oh. This is crazy. Oh man. Okay. It's gotta be doing something, right? Right? Oh yeah, no, it is. Wow, this stuff is definitely turning more mushy and like coming out. That's great. That is really great. You know what? I think if I leave this in there for like 24 hours, it's gonna do all the work for me, yeah. I mean, look at this. Like I am pulling it out with my finger and it's totally smooth on the inside wall. This is nice. Definitely gonna go around and do some agitation here before it gets dunked back in. I have lots of different size brushes. Yeah, you agitate and then it's kind of dry in there. That's good. Oh, this one fits all the way in. Just go to town in there. All right, well, I'm gonna be doing this for a while. I'm taking out lots of sludge and I'll let it soak and I'll do this again. I'll let it soak. And I just lost my piece. Oh, I got it. Came off the handle. Get out, get out, get out. Ah, okay. It wanted to go back in. Syntec has a mind of its own. But anyway, hopefully we can get this pretty clean. We are now ready for our cleaned up oil filter housing and our cleaned up oil cooler. Everything looking so pretty. We got our new seal. We don't have that much sunroof grease left. It's enough for this one. We'll grease it up and plop this seal right in. Perfect. Ready to seal all the oil and coolant. Okay, if I remember correctly, this goes like that. Cool. Got one final wipe down because it never stops dripping oil, which is always fun. There we go. All right. And now we just have some bolts that are much more accessible with this thing out of here. We'll tighten these guys up. All right. This is going to be the seal. Okay. Used way too much. Give some back. Give some back, BMW. Come on now. We're getting low. Don't be greedy. Anyway, this is the one that goes to the engine. If I could figure out which way to put it. Oh, there we go, that way. All right, perfection. All right, this bad boy is going back home. It's gonna be the cleanest part of this engine. Give us somewhere about yonder. Yeah, right there. Oil cooler housing is back in. Next up, we have an alternator. All right, now we can go back together with Das Alternator. Yeah, get in there. Yeah, all right. Wait, all right. Alternator bolts are on and tight. We got our new oil filter with an O-ring going on. And we'll tighten this guy up. 25 Newton meters. Click, click. And you know what? We didn't need to, but I replaced the belt. Loosen up the tension. There we go. Bam. All right, cool. You know you gotta have the letters facing the right way. So that's done. Nice new belt. Sweet. I think it's time we clean the intake valves. So we can pop up one of our protection port plugs, I like to call them, the PPP, and start cleaning carbon. So this is actually a cool battery powered vacuum from Milwaukee. We're gonna be using that. But first thing when you are cleaning intake valves is stick a borescope in and make sure that you have a closed valve. So as you can see, our valve is closed. Like that. And I was just setting us up so we have a few walnuts laying around, but here is what we are using. This is just a cheapo tool, like I think from Harbor Freight or something, and it's an abrasive blaster. We're using walnut shells. And the way this works is we're gonna shoot the walnut shells with air pressure into the intake runner and on the valve to blast away the carbon. And I bought a fitting to do this specifically for the M57. So this one will fit the bottom intake port like so. And then we have a second one, a rounded one that fits the rounded port up top. So this is a 4 valve per cylinder engine. So we have to clean both. We could have 3D printed these, but we couldn't find a file and they're super cheap. So, you know, you don't have to 3D print everything. If you can just buy something for a few bucks, just do that too. Do whatever's easiest. Now I'm gonna use something flexible here. So this is actually the inside of a PTFE hose that we stripped. Just happens to fit. And we're gonna clamp it on here because you wanna be able to kind of move around a little bit in there so you're hitting the valve, the intake runner, and everything. The hard metal line is only good if it's a direct shot to the valve. So this end is gonna go through this hole, and then you place this there. You hook up your vacuum right here. Then we turn on our vacuum. Oh yeah, and we hit the trigger. So we are blasting walnut shells inside. And I'm gonna kind of do one of these and move this guy around everywhere. And obviously you can't see in there, so you're gonna do this for, you know, a minute or so. Take it out, see where you hit, where you didn't hit, and just keep going until they're clean. Well, I gave up on something. The walnut blasting, it was not working out. What's difficult is these runners, they go down and then curve this way, and it's very hard to get to the valve. So I moved on. I'm using penetrating oil, which is my own concoction of trans fluid and acetone and brake clean. But honestly, it's been like 3 hours. I think I'm done. So I've gotten the runners pretty clean. So you just touch something with your hand and touch it in there, and it's just black goo immediately. So you can see the runners generally clean. I could keep brake cleaning this little stuff out and wiping it, but it just never ends. And we got the valve stem nice and shiny and clean. And you can see here how it curves around, and it is just so hard to get anything physical on these valves. But there's no real buildup. I've seen gasoline direct injected engines that are much worse. They kind of look like the EGR valve where it's like a big mushroom of carbon. It doesn't have any of that. It's just a little bit of carbon buildup, and now with all the chemicals that I've had soaking in there, it's all mushy. So when we start this up and go out and hopefully have a ton of boost, we should be able to blow out the remaining goo or whatever that stuff is, the carbon, and then we'll be good. So anyway, we're moving on. With our clean intake valves, we have our super clean intake manifold. So this sat in our tote with our cleaner for a couple of days, and then I just kind of went in here with brushes, cleaned everything up, blasted it out with the pressure washer, and it's looking pretty good. You know, not perfect. It's almost impossible to get to everything in here, but I would say it's like 80% better than it was before. Now the intake manifold without the throttle body or the EGR weighed 11 pounds before. So we have 8 pounds, 13 ounces, but we do have to add in our swirl flap motor, and then all of the swirl flaps. I'll just kind of place them on our clean intake. These are pretty nasty though. And then this will be apples to apples. What do we got? Ooh. Wow, we're pretty much at 10 pounds even, and we were over 11 pounds before. I did take the seals out, but they don't weigh much. It's a solid pound. It's a little over a pound of stuff, of carbon buildup that we cleaned out of the intake. That is crazy. But anyway, nasty swirl flaps, go away. Get out of here. These are going in the garbage. This we're gonna keep and plug in now. With everything so fresh and clean, it's time for our swirl flap delete. And we're like deleting our sunroof grease here. This is getting very low. This diesel cannot be the one that ends the sunroof grease. It's gotta be a Mercedes. And then we still don't know what happens once I run out of sunroof grease. It's kind of like Y2K. You know, just plan for the worst. All right, with this guy popped in, we're just gonna use the same screws that it came with. Screw it down. We're going into plastic. That's all she needs. Beautiful. All right, we got 5 more to go. Swirl flap block-offs are all done. Clean them off though, so everybody can see those, you know, when you pop your hood. Just kidding. It is time for our swirl flap motor. Yeah, this is just gonna bolt in like that, and we're just gonna plug it in eventually once we go on with the intake. Okay. That's done. We have all new seals for the intake. Some are square, some are green, and some are round and black. Next for the intake is our EGR replacement tube, and then the throttle body, which I should probably go clean. I just cleaned up our throttle body. No more black stuff in here. Now we can go back together first with our EGR tube. The bottom one started. I'm not gonna tighten them just yet, because if I remember correctly, this goes like that, and then gets the top bolts. There we go. This is a plastic intake, so do your final tighten by hand. And I'm using a tiny, tiny baby ratchet, because this is like not a lot of torque at all. Click, click, and click. Final piece to the intake puzzle is the throttle body. Got a new seal in there, and this guy is just a 3-bolt. Click. All right. That's tight, and that's tight. Intake manifold is all set, cleaned out, resealed, and eventually ready to go back on. Wait, hang on, you know what? One last thing. Let's replace the map sensor. This is the seal, and here is a new sensor. It was like 20 bucks, and it pops right in like that. Cool. Before we get the intake manifold on, I wanna get this bypass back on, and I got my new seal from BMW. There it is. All right, and we can see it is raised up, so the other one was totally flat. Doesn't take much to seal. That's all you need. Sunroof grease on our new seal. This thing is ready to go. So it's gonna go in like this. I don't want to take this orange tube off because it is a pain. So I'm gonna go back together by clicking this into the tube first, like that. Okay, yep, that's in there. And now we can push it back into place like that and start our bolts. Tightening up these bolts, kind of hard to see really anything in here. Just feeling around. All right, this guy's all bolted up and tight. AC compressor is back in place. Now we can start with our hard pipes. I replaced all of the seals. Lots of new seals going on here. And this one fits into our turbo, one of them. Oh my gosh, these hard pipes are such a tight fit, especially with new O-rings. This is crazy. Get in there. Okay, having to mallet them in. Is that in? Might be. All right, these hard pipes are on. This is a complete nightmare. I struggled to get the other one on. The other one was even harder. We had to loosen up the bypass. So if you guys are doing this at home, don't fully install the bypass yet. Get this one in there first. It's still gonna be a complete nightmare, and you might need a hammer and some wood to kind of nudge it in the right direction, but they're on. We have our new thermostat going in. Don't remember which way, but eventually we'll get it. It's not that way. No, it's gotta be this way. Yeah, that's it. All right, so you got a 1 out of 4 chance of getting that right on the first try. Thermostat's all tightened up, and we have our air inlet installed. Kind of bouncing around here, but we have our new aluminum coolant pipe going in. All right, that's in. It's going together, people. I mean, I know I've installed like a bunch of parts at this point, but I don't know why that really shiny one just kind of reminded me that like we're putting it back together. Like we're gonna be starting it up soon-ish. We can start clicking on our coolant hoses. Stop. There's always some coolant left. There we go, no more leaky. All right, this is our new big tube that we can click in. Okay, so that end is in. That one, is that it? Oh no, a little straggler right here. There we go. Before we get the intake on, just in case it kind of gets in the way, and that is rebuilding this PCV system. And by rebuilding, I mean breaking off the tabs for the cap, which is fine because we got a brand new one. So there's just a spring and a little diaphragm in there that we need to snap back on. Curious if ours is bad, but everything is just so brittle. Okay, yep, these are all gonna pretty much break off, but I'm okay with that. All right, so here's our cap, and here's our seal. It's pretty hard, just like everything else. And here is our spring. Not gonna lie, I don't think that makes much of a difference. And that's it. There's nothing really in here. It's not too dirty. Just give it a quick little wipe out here. All right, so we'll put our new spring in like so. And then our cap with our new seal. Click on. Oh my God, come on. That is not clicking on. Oh my gosh, guys, this, sometimes aftermarket stuff doesn't exactly fit. I got the 2 to click here. Okay. Yeah, wish I kind of didn't break that cap. There's nothing wrong with this. Jeez. The tolerance of this is pretty insane, but yeah, I just pushed at each tab, eventually got it. So that's done. The PCV tube runs over here, and I replaced this with a piece of hose because the factory accordion stuff just breaks right off. So PCV has all new seals, all rebuilt. It's gonna PCV. It's time, people. It's intake time, which signals the closing to this project. I don't know. We don't even know if it's gonna boost at all. Could be ripping this all apart again. We just don't know, but we have to install this, and there are a couple plugs I don't want to forget about. We're gonna reconnect the swirl flap connector. Can't see it, but did you hear the click? It clicked. And now we just install. Just like that. All right, just going around. Final torque here. It's plastic intake. Doesn't take a lot, about 8 Newton meters, all you need. I already got the inners, so we're good on there. I've wrapped up a few other things also just around, and we gotta get a little oil in here. I'm just gonna go with some cheapo oil for now. And here's the last little bit. There we go. And not that I think this thing was not maintained with oil changes. I mean, all diesels will have black oil like almost immediately upon changing the oil, but I'm gonna do a flush. I'm gonna assume it hasn't been done yet, and we'll dump it in. I love this AMSOIL flush on pretty much all of my unknown used vehicles with high miles. I use this. Good thing probably to do every year too. Why not? Oh, and something else is I don't believe we have Black Death. There were just a lot of leaves in here mixed with all of our oil leaks. But yeah, usually when you have that, you can hear it leaking out like an exhaust leak, and we've never heard that. So kind of cleaned up a little bit in here. And it's not common on these to have that issue. Black Death is where the injector O-ring kind of blows out and then combustion will come out and create like a mound of carbon. I fixed this on my old Mercedes CDI back in the day, but I don't believe this has it, and they're not known to have it. All right, airbox going back in. We are almost there, people. We're almost there. I'm like excited, I'm nervous. All of this work I mean, we did find some smoking guns. I would say the bypass valve O-ring was pretty flat. We replaced, obviously, all of the vacuum tubes. This could be one of those things that's like a combination of a few issues. I would have loved to find like a broken bypass valve or a bad solenoid or something, but we'll get there, guys. One day it's to be boosting. And by one day, I mean, hopefully like literally right now. If I can plug in an airbox. That's all I gotta do. I just reconnected the battery. BMW jingle. Do the new ones make the exact same noise? Like, how long have they been rocking with that? I'd love to talk to BMW's like market research development team on how they chose that. I think it's to calm people down because their car breaks all the time and it's just like this heavenly bling. Anywho, let's fire this thing up. Come on. Yeah. All right. He's running pretty horribly bad, but you know, we did have fuel lines disconnected and wow, this is really bad. Okay, great. It's not a good start. It's not a good start at all. Come on, clear up. That's better. It's getting there. It's still missing though. Come on, baby, clear up. Come back to us. Okay, I think we're there. When you lose fuel, sometimes it doesn't start the best, but it's cycling. I think we're back. Yeah, off idle, sounding pretty good. Sweet. I gotta say, this smells different to me. It smells better, like cleaner. I mean, it makes sense. We cleaned a ton of junk out of the engine, but also, that's like way more turbo at idle. I don't know, I'm feeling good, guys. I'm feeling good. I'm just topping up coolant, and we're gonna take it out, see if we have low-end boost. Everything's looking good. I swear I hear more turbo right now. Like that little one's just, it's ready to go. It hasn't been in action in so long. It's like, put me in, coach. Ready to spool. Cobra, hello? Hopefully you'll be fixing them too. It's maiden voyage time, people. Liam's got a dozer with a diesel engine, so that's for good luck, I hope. Oh, dude, it's fixed. No, that is peppy. Oh, this is totally fixed. It is saying our hood is open though, which I don't think it is. We just slammed it. Oh, it's got some pep. Gotta fix this hood though. This is so the life of BMWs right now. We probably fixed the no boost issue and now can't get this hood to latch. I've tried slamming it a bunch of times. It won't latch on this side. That was fine before. I'm gonna try and adjust this right now. The hood is latched, but that keeps coming up. Whatever. We're driving this thing. Oh! It's got all the boost. This thing is quick. Oh man, this thing feels really good. Oh yeah, all the boost. Yes! This is quick, guys. I have no idea who did the tune on this thing, but it's pretty fast. I don't know if it's like 500 horsepower fast or anything like that, but now that it's fixed, I'm kind of inclined to maybe just get it retuned, like by someone really reputable or someone I know, and see what we can max out, because at this point, this thing came basically pre-deleted for me. I didn't do it, so we might as well take advantage. Plus, the new tunes are much cleaner, and right now we are seeing a little bit of black smoke, so that tells me that this was kind of an older tune. Now the new tunes, like, you barely see anything. They just have them fine-tuned, like, perfectly. You guys want to hear this thing from the outside? Of course you do. Of course you do. Here we go. Woo! That's just a bunch of nuts and bolts in the back. I still have the underbelly pans off and all the bolts from the last guy, Eddie, who sold it to me at the dealer. He took all that stuff off. Looking for the coolant leak. Wow, that is great. It sounds so good. Uh-oh. Just blew something off. You guys hear that? And then we got a bunch of black smoke. All right, hopefully it's that intake tube again. That didn't sound good. We got an engine malfunction thing on. That's not good either. Okay. Still runs good though. Let's see what we did. Okay, well it's not that. That's what blew off before. Oh, okay, I see it. It's the other end of that blew off. Okay, what is going on with this? I mean, this is an aftermarket part, and we even put like a better clamp on this. I don't know how much boost this thing is running also. There's a lot of unknowns here, but it's fixed. It's fixed, all right? We can fix a blowing off intake tube pipe thingy that's right in front of our face. Worst case scenario, I'll just get, maybe they sell like an aluminum one that we can clamp down on better, and then we'll get a more high quality clamp as well, the one with a little spring in there that's beefier or whatever. But she's fixed, guys. It boosts, It feels great. It runs great. And like, I know this was a boatload of work, but like the cost really wasn't that much if you think about it. But anyway, I should probably talk to you guys not in the middle of the street. Hey, we're back. This thing sounds awesome. I love it. I love it. Let's go to the board. I was counting stuff up last time as far as what I put into this thing because it was a $4,000 purchase price for a mechanic special. Let's go to the board and add this up. How much do I have in the X5? A fixed, for the most part, X5. Heading past where our X5 kind of puked out its guts on the floor, we'll head over to the whiteboard. But hang on a second. Yeah, I had cleaned the shop right before this. That's what the shop looked like. That's what it looks like now. Not too bad, all things considered. But anyway, I just put this together. So some of this is from the last episode, but we bought the X5 for $4,000. Radiator, intercooler pipe, solenoids, coolant hose. We got vacuum lines, the EGR2. We replaced both belts, an oil change, seals, gaskets, thermostat, vacuum. I haven't added this up yet, but that's how much we have into it. Hang on. Okay, just totally added this up in my head and not a calculator. Our grand total is $49.45. Little dollar sign in there. Right under 5,000 bucks. Not bad. So what have we gotten for around $5,000? We got a somewhat modern looking SUV that'll look great after some cleanup. It's overall cosmetically in excellent condition. This thing has a ton of power. We're probably gonna find out in the next episode after modifying it. We'll throw it in the dyno, see what she puts down. But this thing has a beautiful interior, an awesome stereo system, pano roof. I mean, that's all for $5,000 and it gets like 30 miles per gallon on the highway or even a little bit more. So that to me sounds like a pretty good deal. Think about what you can buy nowadays in the world of cars for $5,000. Not a whole lot, but people, even though it's a diesel, are still deathly afraid of older BMWs. I don't blame those people, but in some situations, you can do this right. Now, granted, I have a lot of time and effort into this, but I don't count my labor, and I have a video on why I don't count my labor that I'll link down below. It's on LegitStreetCars too. So in my eyes, we have about 5,000 bucks into this car. Now, I am gonna do the normal car guy thing and kind of blow my budget out of the water here, because if I just stopped right now, we could probably sell this thing for like $9 and turn a profit, but I'm gonna put a bunch of money into it that's not necessarily gonna raise the value too much, but it's just gonna be a million times cooler, and it's something I've always wanted to do, which I'll just teaser. It's gonna be a little bit of an Overland diesel X5 with more power. It's gonna be amazing. So we did a lot in this video, guys. I honestly can't even recap it all, but I hope you really enjoyed this one. Just digging in, getting dirty, fixing stuff, seeing an end result and a good one for not a whole lot of money. And if you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up, share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's a free little button down there and it really helps me out. But above all, most importantly, I hope all of you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next video. Because supposedly these can go bad. So this goes from here all the way. So it goes from here, and I did drain all the engine oil, but you're always gonna get a little bit left. I did drain all the engine oil. And here's our leaking seal. It just broke in half. And here's our leaking. And I bought a and I swear if this is, and gosh, or just cleaned up the throttle body. I just cleaned up our throttle block. No more black stuff in here. No more black stuff in here. Whoops-a-doodle.